Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. Tonight we have a special, one of two, called Confessions of a Life Coach. So if we are going to have Confessions of a Life Coach, we probably need a life coach. So I've got a couple here with us. Say hello to Jackie Flynn. Thank you very much for joining us,
Hello,
Jackie.
and thanks for having us.
And I also have Mr. Matt Cooksey. Thank you for joining us,
Hey,
Matt.
good to join you.
Now, we are going to start tonight with Confessions of a life coach from Matt. Matt, what terrible things have you done? Tell us.
God, where do I even begin with that topic? I guess, it all goes back really sort of 5 years ago. I reached a point in my life where I just knew that I was off track. I was not where I wanted to be. And my mum walked through the door on my 30th birthday, and I just burst into tears. And I just didn't know what was going on, why I was feeling this way. And you wouldn't necessarily expect to hear this from a life coach, but, sometimes you have to get quite low before you know what you want to do, or you're motivated to do something about it. So I guess that's my first confession is, I love my life now. I've got so many great things going on, but it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always the way it is now.
Yeah, well, because it's, I guess, in a few words, what is a life coach?
So a life coach is really, put simply, somebody who helps a client figure out where they are, see a different destination for themselves that links in with really what they want in their gut, that they may be too scared to actually go for, and then once they've figured out where that destination is, to actually go through the steps, not turn around 10 seconds into the journey and run back from where you came, and actually follow through and go and make it happen, which can be a scary thing. So we're like their new best mate. We put our arms around them, and we're going to help them get to where they really want to go.
Oh, okay. So if we have, let's say, an agreement, and I go and I haven't done my agreement, so I only did 5 push-ups instead of 20, are you going to get into me? Are you going to get angry?
Well, you know what? If people are not doing what you're sort of agreeing that they're going to do, there's usually some good reasons for that. So no, it's not about thrashing people and making them feel bad at all, but it's about going a bit deeper really to understand, well, if you're not doing something, we didn't clearly do the first bit right about figuring out where you want to go, or something's coming up for that person. Fear, that little vixen, she's sneaky and tricky, and she finds her own way in. And that's one of the biggest parts of the work that we do, is to help people figure out how to manage their fears, which come up in all manner of different ways. So you're not going to get thrashed, that's for sure. And I won't be asking anyone to do push-ups. So
Fantastic.
No stress there.
So, talking about fear and not having a perfect life, because life isn't perfect, it happens to you. Let's go back to you. 30, broke down in tears. What was going on?
Well, I didn't know. I was right in the eye of the storm, if you like, and I just knew something was off, and I think felt off track. I wasn't where I was supposed to be, but it's, for somebody who had always been quite resilient and strong and focused and had a direction, I was in this great corporate job. I'd just been promoted. I'd had holidays abroad, had all these different things going on. To feel lost was really alien for me. And so what I now realise, because it's only, after the event that sometimes you can see clearly, and I think that's what a coach helps you to do, is in the moment when you're confused and you don't know what's going on, a coach brings the clarity. And what I can now see is that I had just really forgotten who I was, and I'd come out quite late, and so I'd been for a long time trying to satisfy what I thought my parents wanted from me, which actually wasn't what they wanted anyway. They just wanted me to be myself, and also what I thought society wanted from me as well. And I'd lost that sense of what I'm passionate about, who I really am, what my values are, all that kind of stuff. And so, having lost myself, of course, the life that I created didn't relate back to who I was, and there was this tension going on the whole time between who I really am and actually the life that I'd created. So it was really about that, and then reorienting around who I really am.
And so, talking about reorienting, how do you then go and change that around? How did you change things to better for yourself?
Well, look, I did it the hard way. That's what I would say. And part of why I love doing what I do now is to help people, find a smarter way to. If you realise you're off track, to figure out where you want to go, and then do it the smart way, transition in the smart way. But I think, to be really practical about this, I think it really starts with understanding who you are. That's the very most important thing that I think anyone can do. And that can seem like a big question. And so, again, with big questions, what we always have to do is break them down. So what I suggest to people they do is really start figuring out what they're passionate about. I'm passionate about helping people do extraordinary things. Like, I love it. I can't exactly tell you why, but I love it. I friggin' love it.
And it's fun.
It's
fun.
And it is fun. That's right. And so as much as it can be hard to figure out your passions, there's thousands of books that you can read on the topic. So I would recommend to people that that's where they should begin, is find what you're passionate about. And if you can kind of follow that through, you always end up in a good space.
What's a good beginning book?
So there's an awesome book called It Starts With Passion by a guy called Keith Abraham. And it was one of the first books that I started out with that really made a huge difference to helping me figure out, well, who the hell am I? And what do I want to do with that?
Okay. Now, what about if your passion is actually kind of hard passion? So, in other words, as a young person, I wanted to do acting, and do people ever put too much pressure on themselves? Like, if I want to act, I have to be Brad Pitt. If I want to be a musician, I have to be like In Excess. What about that? That's
right. That's such a good point, because I think people can get on this holy grail chase, looking for this one thing that they're supposed to be doing, and that sets people up for kind of crazy life, because they always feel like they're underperforming, or what is it that I'm looking for? And so I really say to people, look, your only purpose for being here is to use your potential and have a great time in the process. That's what you've got to do. As far as what you actually want to do from a point of view of your mission, like what's your mission in life? Well, you can do all number of things. There's going to be lots of things that could make you happy. So I think determining what is a passion that is something you want to pursue in your personal life versus what is the kind of passion you could create a whole career around is a big topic, and sort of figuring that out is very much at the centre of what we do with people. Yeah, it is. It's a huge topic, but we hope that gives you some idea of how to find your own passion. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll actually have a bit more of a chat to Jackie next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time here.